meeting of Cabinet Scrutiny Committee on the 27th of March 2024. I am Councillor Phil Rogers and I will be chairing this meeting. Just to make everyone aware, this meeting will be recorded. Please could you ensure that your phones are switched to silent for the duration of the meeting and that your microphones are muted when not speaking. In addition, when asked to raise your hand, if members who are virtually viewing this meeting could raise your electronic hand, and for members in the Council chamber, just raise your hand. For the purposes of the next agenda item, which is declarations of interest, I can confirm that we have chosen to scrutinise Cabinet Agenda Item 6 and the private urgent report from the Cabinet agenda. Agenda Item 2, declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest from members today based on the items we have chosen to scrutinise? If yes, Pamela will forward an electronic version of the form for you to complete and email back to her.
I can see no declarations of interest, Chair.
Many thanks, Pam.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Just to check.
Councillor Freegard.
Yeah, just to check with Craig if I want to speak on the plaza item, Craig.
I don't believe you've got any connection at all with the building. It's just within your ward, Councillor, so that's absolutely fine.
Many thanks, Craig. Agenda Item 3, minutes of the previous meeting. The minutes are attached at pages 3 to 8 of the agenda pack. If you feel these are an accurate record of the meeting, I'm happy to propose it. Do we have any questions on the minutes of the previous meeting, please? I can't see any, so I am happy to propose them. Could I have a seconder, please?
Second, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Bowen. Are there any abstentions? If members do not indicate to the contrary, I will take it that these minutes are approved.
Those minutes are approved, Chair.
Many thanks, Pam. We now move to the Cabinet agenda. Agenda Item 6, Strategic Equality Plan Annual Report for the years 2022 to 2023 on pages 11 to 70 of the report. There is an error in the recommendations on page 14 of the Cabinet agenda pack. Officers, can you explain the error, please?
Thank you, Chair. The error is just my kind of incompetence and my error in typing. It should say in recommendation paragraph 20, the annual report 22-23 instead of 21-22. And in the recommendation paragraph 21, it should say Cabinet rather than Cabinet Policy and Resources Subcommittee. Thank you.
Many thanks, Rhian. Officers, would you like to add anything additional to the report?
I have nothing to add. Thank you.
Many thanks, Rhian. We'll now move to members' questions. I have a few lined up initially. And as I'm chair, I will start off with, on page 55 of the report, it's page 39 of the actual plan. If I just get to it, it says action 4.5.450. We will improve physical access to the committee facilities in both Neath and Talbot civic centres. Now, the progress to date up to the end of 2023 just mentions Talbot. Can you give me any information on any progress within Neath or any suggestions of what's going to happen going forward, please?
I'm sorry, I don't have that information. I can find that information out and come back to members on that.
Lovely, thanks, Rhian. Next up is Councillor Suzanne Paddison, please.
Thank you, Chair. Oh, excuse me, frog in my throat. I've no problem with what I'm going to say. It's just that I know that the Leader of Council has offered an interview to any person who is affected by the crisis at Tata. I just wanted to make sure that that didn't compromise anything about equalities or.
Thank you, Councillor. Chair, I've.
Lovely, thanks, Rhian. I think we'll bring Nicola in on this one. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, just to help out there. An undertaking has been given that we will offer an interview to any Tata employee or anyone in the supply chain who meet all of the essential criteria linked to the job. So we'll only get that interview if they meet the essential criteria. So there is that caveat there.
Thank you, Nicola. Thank you, Councillor Patterson. Next up, I have Councillor Sonia Reynolds, please.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to start off by saying I think Rhiann's being very hard on herself. We all make mistakes, particularly with dates when they're in year form. So, I think she shouldn't worry about that too much. Thank you for the correction. On my question was the one I've asked in several other years, and that's on the citizens panel on the report. It's something that members have little contact with, and I'm aware that it's constantly, evolving and constantly being changed. People drop off, new people come on, etc. Can anybody give me an outline of the diversity of the panel? I'm aware you seek to try and make it geographically representative, even though I am aware that my community struggles to get people who will take part in focus groups and similar up here in the valleys, but also for sexuality, gender, age, ethnicity, etc. What's the balance like?
Thank you, Councillor Reynolds. Rhiann, please.
Thank you. I appreciate Councillor's remarks. Thank you very much. In respect of the citizens panel, we have done a refresh as part of recent consultations. Anita James is going to be undertaking a piece of work to check that the panel is representative of our communities, and also to identify where there are any gaps, and where there are, we will target recruitment accordingly.
Many thanks, Rhiann. Councillor Reynolds, happy? Thank you. Next up, we have Councillor Sean Percy, please.
Thank you, Chair. And thanks, Rhiann, for the report. Just a brief one in relation to the support in terms of people learning Welsh. This figure given in the report, I think 63, I think it says members of staff took up the opportunity during that period. Do we have data to compare with the previous years to whether that's increased or decreased? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Percy. Rhiann again then, please.
I don't have it to hand, but I can certainly find that out from previous reports and get back to the members.
Lovely, thanks, Rhiann. Happy, Councillor Percy? Lovely. Diolch. Are there any other questions on this item, please? Sorry, Councillor Reynolds again, please.
Sorry, Chair, I should have followed up. Would it be possible, when you have anything on the diversity of the panel, Rhiann, to share it with members?
Go ahead, Rhiann.
And I'm sure we can find the information to share at what we currently have, the panel representation, and when the refresh and the further information has been gathered, we can share that as well, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Many thanks, Rhiann. Thank you, Councillor Reynolds. Are there any other questions on this item, please? Councillor Patterson, please.
Just want to make a comment. It's about page 13, paragraph 17. I'm sure my colleague Stephanie Grimshaw will be very pleased to see that that paragraph is included in today's report. Thank you.
Check. Yeah, thank you, Councillor Patterson. It's noted. Thank you. Okay, if there are no more questions then, the recommendation is listed on page 14 of the Cabinet Agenda Pack and is for immediate implementation. I'm happy to propose it. Can I have a seconder, please?
Happy to second, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Percy. Can members please indicate if they wish to abstain?
Chair, I can see no abstentions.
Thank you, Pamela. Members, if you do not indicate to the contrary, then I will take it that this decision is supported to Cabinet.
Chair, I can see no indication to the contrary, so this recommendation is supported to Cabinet.
Many thanks, Pam. We move back now to the scrutiny agenda. Agenda item 5, the forward working programme. This item is for noting. Are there any comments on this, please? I can't see any, so we'll move along to agenda item 6, urgent items. There are no urgent items under the scrutiny agenda. However, there is one urgent item on the Cabinet agenda which the committee has chosen to scrutinise. That being so, we now move to access to meetings. We will now need to consider the private supplementary item on the Cabinet agenda. The private paragraph is contained on the urgent agenda item to resolve to exclude the public for the following items pursuant of section 100A, paragraphs 4 and 5 of the Local Government Act 1972 and the relevant exempt paragraphs of Part 4 of Schedule 12A to the above Act. I'm happy to propose it. Can I have a seconder, please?
Second, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Bowen. We'll now move into private session. Can I please ask that any